Good morning, everyone. I am SS, the showstopper, and today is the 20th of August, 2023. Now, see, Minister Hall, formerly Lady Saw, had set up a GoFundMe seeking US 2 million to build a church. I've also seen wherein quite a few persons have posted their disagreements with what with her desire and her goal target. I've also seen dancehall artist Mr. Vegas come out, and he was showing his disdain for Minister Hall goal target and her goal that she has, and he was saying that when I build a hospital or something else, she would have gotten the money, but for a church and US 2 million to build a church is quite an extravagant, desire. And it also incorporating the personality of Minister Hall, saying that she's known for, lavish and extravagant things. So that could clearly be the reason she wants to build a church. But my thing is to Mr. Vegas, all the suggestions that you're making to Minister Hall, you had the same opportunity in dancehall and reggae. As the minister, you were Grammy nominated. You went gold, I think, and I don't think platinum. I think you went gold. You're Grammy nominated. You're going on tours. You have collabed with people, known people. You could have done the same thing. You could have set up a GoFundMe to build a hospital or a cancer research center or whatever AIDS research center or whatever it is that is needed out there for the public. You could have done the same thing, Mr. Vegas. See, it's easy to sit and criticize. It's easy. One of the greatest ability Jamaicans have is to sit and criticize rather than being a voice of reason, rather than doing, rather than making a difference in other people's life. It's easy to sit and criticize. I notice that you're going at her also because of your personal disdain that you have an experience with the church, in particular with Gino Jennings and what have you, the case may be. So what it seems like you're projecting also your personal disdain on the minister because of the things that you said, that the manner in which churches are going and pastors are conducting their church, the strictness of the people just not into it and they're losing members. If we study history, this is not the first time people have broke away from the church. This is not the first or the second or the third. There have been many, many eras where people have broken away from the church. And there are many eras where people have gotten back into the church. So this ain't the first. We aren't seeing this isn't anything new under the sun. And might I add that anything that has been around for over 2,000 years, AD, BC, and it's still in existence, built by man, is mighty, mighty, mighty powerful, has powers beyond our reasoning. Anything, a man-made structure, a man-made organization that has been around for BC, AD, it's a mighty, mighty, powerful structure. So let us not act like what Minister Hall is doing is a joke or is a this or is a that. She can get the US 2 million to build a church. You're saying that you don't know if it involves the land. You don't know if she purchased the land yet. You don't know where she purchased it or the size of the property or what her intention is. She could have a community center on the land also. It could be quite a few things that she has an intention to do. Did you consult? Did you ask her? Did you ask her what are the intentions? What exactly is it that she had in mind? Did you try to find that out? We all know that Minister Hall is the type of person from Lady Saw time to be a bit aggressive. You understand me? But she was, based on my understanding of her, she was also an approachable person. She was also a person that you can approach. And knowing you, Mr. Vegas, and the things that you have been saying about her in support of her vibrancy on stage and performing and stuff like that, you could have approached a minister and asked her what is the structure, because 2 million US is a lot of money. You understand me? There are structures in Jamaica that are 2 million US. There are houses in Jamaica that are for 2 million US and over. And remember that we are speaking about an economy that is dilapidated. I mean, it's booming for those who are in wealth. You understand me? Or for those families that are in wealth in the island. So it's booming for them. You understand me? So they can preserve employment for their workers, under that kind of payment. But that's another topic for another day. For the average citizens out there, it's not booming, it's doing very poorly. So for her to want 2 million US, asking for that amount, it may sound grand, but at the end of the day, when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, of the contractor and the land and all the paperwork and all these things, everything costs. Material, everything costs. So I don't think it is a stretch at all. I think she removed it because she didn't want to deal with the pressure or dealing with the way people were coming at her. Maybe people were coming at her rude and abrasive and being disrespectful, and she just wasn't in the mood to entertain that spirit. So she said, let me remove it. You understand? It doesn't mean that her intention changed. It doesn't mean, remember, this is a woman that has come out publicly and speak on the things and the setbacks that she had with the goals. This is not her first goal. And she went back and she actually accomplished and achieved them. She actually achieved them. So be careful. Remember, she didn't. It's at a must that she would have achieved the US 2 million, but close enough. She could have gotten 1 million. She could have gotten 1 million or 900,000. We don't know. We don't know. And might I add that if you're not contributing to it, then it really doesn't need any criticism. It really doesn't need, because it's whosoever will contribute. Whosoever willing to contribute, contribute. Whosoever willing to help to build a church, contribute. If you're not interested and you're not willing, you can move along. Everything doesn't require heavy criticism or an attack. You understand? Because you're in the same position of power in dancehall as Minister Hall, formerly Lady Saw, was. You could have built a church just the same. You could have established a cancer research. You could have set up a GoFundMe. You understand me? It's just about you having your benefits for yourself and stuff like that. Who did you break in the music industry, in dancehall? There are one and two people here that you did a song with, but there are persons who were actually had a voice before. But I don't know if you establishing an artist over the years. You have had a longevity in music, Mr. Vegas. So let us be fair. Fair is fair. You could have done the same thing. You're sitting down there and you're lying down and you're criticizing the minister because she wants to build a church, because you have a disdain for the church. So you can't tell another person what to do with their religious belief and their religious practice. You can't and want to dictate to them and telling them that it's foolishness and it's not. That is your personal growth. Remember that when you left, you had left at one point and decided to do Christianity. Then you decided to do, I think, I'm not sure if it is Rasta or something. Then you've gone into Hotep and all these kind of things. You understand me? Which means that your mind is wayward. Your mind is wayward. You're hunting for a comfort zone, not the truth. You're hunting for a comfort zone in what you're doing. Minister Hall has cemented herself somewhere, and with all the encouragement of her to leave and to go back and take her place in dancehall, she has stood firm where she is at, and she has made it her decision. I didn't hear you come out wishing her well. You were encouraging her to leave, but when you realized that she insists on staying, I think you could have wished her well. Wish her well. You might not agree. I might not agree with the steps another person take in their religious path, but I can only wish them well. She has cemented herself in her belief. She has cemented herself. She has gotten bookings based on her religious practices. All persons are perfect. People are acting as if she come out and she must be the pinnacle of change and the humblest and the quiet. She was never that person. So the spirit that she had, that booming spirit that she had in dancehall, and she was there and could command the crowd and she could entertain people. She chose to do it for God. She chose to do it in a religious way. And you've got to turn around that spirit and make it a wholesome, strong spirit, a mighty spirit to conquer demons, because they are great in numbers. They are great in numbers. You yourself have spoken about it. You yourself have spoken about it. They are great in numbers. They are everywhere. Sometimes you are dealing with people and you're dealing with a raw spirit. It's a raw spirit that you are dealing with. And you have to come mighty to let, sometimes you have to let some people know, listen, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the spirit that's in you because I can see it or I can feel it. I know it's nothing good. You understand what I'm saying? So allow her to do what she's doing. Since you all want her to change, you all want her to do this and do that, and when she make an effort to do something, it's soul criticism that she's getting. Allow her. I might not believe in her or support a lot of things that the minister has done, but at the end of the day, she's on her path and she's seeking her truth without being offensive to anyone. So allow her to do it. You got the same opportunity, Vegas. Where is your GoFundMe for Cancer Research Center? Where is your GoFundMe for all of those things that you could have easily established out there? Contributing beds to the minister, to a hospital, or stuff like that. Have you? I'm sure you speaking on it, you would have mentioned it. You would have mentioned it, or someone would have given a testimony to say that, yes, Mr. Vegas was one of them who donated hundreds of beds or paint a hospital or stuff like that, like what Shaggy is doing. People like you all over the world, Vegas, people like you. So you could have set up a GoFundMe just the same to do the similar something like what Shaggy is doing for the Bustamante Children's Hospital. Come on, the time we sit and we are criticizing and we are complaining, we can be a voice of reason also. The easiest thing is to complain, you know. The easiest thing is to complain. Try being the difference. That's where you're going to have a problem. Try being the difference and being the change. That's where you're going to have a problem. So it's easy for us to sit down and say and sit down and attack and sit down and criticize every move that she's making and every step that she's taking. She is trying something. She is trying. She is trying. Allow the woman to try. Allow the woman to try. You could have said, Minister, I don't see you getting that money now, but I do wish you all the best. I do hope that you accomplish it. I do wish you all the best. She can hop from one goal and go into another. She can leave. She could get the funding for the church, and when she get the funding for the church, then she seek funding to have a cancer research center just the same, or to help a hospital or a school just the same. We don't know. There are so many artists out there. You can ask one of them. You could have bring one of them to the forefront. You don't need to highlight Minister Hall. She's doing something. She's trying her best to see how well she can not only gain members, but get people back to God. So the crime and violence in the society can cut down or can eradicate, or people are trying. People are trying. People are trying. She is trying. Allow her to try. Allow her to try. It's not going to be easy for Minister. All I can say this for you, it's not going to be easy because we saw the things that you put out there in your earlier days in the career. A lot of women who were around your time were very destructive to other women relationship because of the music that you put out that aid in it. You understand me? A lot of women saw the things that you said in your music that aid in the destruction of their relationship also. So you won't get you are going to get a backlash. Those women are grandmothers today. They are not going to be too happy with you. So you're going to face it. It's harvest. You're going to reap what you're sowing. The good thing is that you're leaning on God. So He's helping you along the way. But you are going to get it. You have spoken yourself about it, that you are doing the devil music and you are doing this because you know the messages in a lot of them were very destructive. The messages in a lot of them were very destructive and all of that. And I'm not perfect. I'm a recording artist. I do dancehall music. But I'm speaking based on the religious path that you've taken. You understand me? I'm speaking based on the religious path that you've taken. You have acknowledged the responsibility that the responsibility that you have, and you're taking accountability for the things that you have done and stuff like that, which is great. but you're still going to have to fight that battle, which you are currently doing. And thank God you have God by your side. You have been stayed prayed up. You're ministering. You're doing the things that God wants you to do and stuff like that. You are doing that. You are on your path. And I commend you for staying on your path, just the same, because you have them to deal with. Just ride the wave and it will be over. It will be over. It will be over soon. You understand? You're on a mighty path. So if you can't encourage a lady, Mr. Vegas, you can leave her alone. You can leave her alone if you can't encourage her. If you don't, they always say sometimes if you don't have good to say, don't say anything at all. She has been trying. What's wrong with her trying to establish a church? What's wrong with that? You don't like church? What's wrong with that? You don't like church based on your experience with Pastor Gino Jennings. And they say usher him out and people use it to mock you and laugh at you over the years since that occurrence. So you're going to use that now. So whenever someone comes out and say that they're going to do something for the church or they're helping out for the church, you're quick to show your disdain. You're quick to show your disdain. Minister Hall is not doing anything wrong because we don't know the terms and conditions why she's seeking 2 million US. We don't know. Land is not cheap in Jamaica. Land is not cheap, especially prime land, and we don't know where she's trying to get, or where she has acquired, or where she's trying to get the land. We don't know. We don't know the details of it. She haven't come and explain it. We don't know if it is a church alone that she's trying to build. We don't know if she's trying to build a facility on the church. We don't know. She didn't come out and say it. She didn't come out and say it. These are questions that I think would have been appropriate for you to ask, rather than automatically write her off and say, no, it's too much, and she's known for extravagance and all of these kind of things. You could have asked that question. You could have asked that question, Mr. Vegas. You understand me? And people are saying the same thing about you, that you had your opportunity and stuff like that. You still have your voice. What have you established out here? What have you established out here that's your legacy? That we can say, yes, he has contributed to research, he has contributed to development, to progression, to skills and services, to assist young people who want a job and stuff like that. What has Mr. Vegas done? We can ask that of you. So let us be careful. Let's be careful. I'm sorry. Let's be careful and try to be encouraging, because at the end of the day, it's not something bad. She didn't say she wanted to build a go-go club, or she wanted to do her personal undertakings. You understand me? Come on. Let us be careful, and let us be encouraging. And sometimes if we don't have good to say, let us not say anything, because everything doesn't warrant a personal opinion, because a lot of times it seems as if the opinions are based on selfish experiences, are based on selfish cause. So think twice sometimes. We're not perfect. Think twice sometimes. Sometimes your opinion is hurtful. The thing that you're saying is hurtful. She has it to deal with. She has it to deal with, and she's trying. Give her some credit. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. God bless you.